For the COVID vaccine.
And the perfect gift for dear old dad. Why gifting experiences are all the rage this year. What's new? Starts right now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Hello again, Northeast Ohio. Thank you so much for choosing What's New on this absolutely gorgeous Wednesday afternoon. I hope you're enjoying it. It's great to be with you again alongside Betsy Kling. I'm Jay Crawford. Betsy, a very good Wednesday afternoon to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon to you, too. The weather has been very delightful.
Oh, perfect.
We got down to 48 degrees at Hopkins this morning. That was a lot cooler than we were expecting, I'll say that. But in the days to come, things will be warming up. Jason is in for Matt Wentz, and he will have the latest on the forecast.
I'm glad I was in bed when that 48 happened.
Yeah, a little chilly.
Well, Betsy, we begin today at 5 with big news for those who enjoy placing a bet or two on sporting events. We are now one very big step closer to that becoming a reality here in the state of Ohio. Our Romney Smith has been following the legislation as it has moved forward today. Romney, good afternoon to you. A lot of people are hopeful that this is it. So break it all down for us. What's going on?
Jay, a lot of people are excited because just a few hours ago, Ohio Senate Bill 176 took a step forward and was passed, which means we are that much closer to having legalized sports gambling and betting in the state of Ohio. Of course, this bill has been in the works for months now and aims to make it possible for Ohioans to bet in person or online on the Browns, Indian Cavs, or even college teams like Ohio State football and make a little money in addition to bragging rights, of course. Now, if the Ohio House approves the bill, which is the next step, then it will be sent to the governor's desk for his signature. And get this, net revenue will be taxed at 10%, meaning millions of dollars. And there are other benefits, too.
33, new businesses that are going to start where you can go in person. We're talking about these mobile applications, the teams will benefit, the casinos and racinos, all of them are major employers that will add employees because of this. So there's certainly an economic benefit.
Now, while you may be saying, Romney, that's nice, but tell me exactly when I'm going to be able to bet and win some big money. I have to tell you, if everything goes smoothly, we are still a few months away, Jay.
All right, well, that's okay because we're still a few months away from football season. So as long as they get this all figured out by the time the Browns play the Chiefs, I think most of us here in Cleveland will be just fine with that. Romney, if the Casino Commission allows college betting, is everything fair game then?
No, that's a really good question. So here's how that works. If we're betting on the Browns, you can bet on the team as a whole to win or lose, or you can bet on an individual player. If we're talking about college, let's say the Ohio State Buckeyes, okay, they're playing a football game. You can only bet on the team, not an individual college player. So there is a big difference right there.
All right. A lot of prop bets would be off limits in terms of that. Romney Smith reporting live for us on What's New. Romney, thanks.
Well, our other top story today is also sports related, and it deals with the Browns and Baker Mayfield.
Yes, it does. The voice of the Browns, Jim Donovan, joins us again. Now, yesterday you brought us such great news.
Thank you.
When you told us Denzel Ward as well as Nick Chubb were really favorable to the idea of spending their entire careers here in Cleveland.
Absolutely.
But you also said now the focus turns to Baker Mayfield, and Baker was asked about his long-term future today. What do you have to say?
I'll tell you what, first of all, he was great meeting with the media today. There's a real difference to him right now.
Mature, you think?
Yeah, the brashness is gone. He's not, going at it with the media, which is nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
Very, very nice. He's growing up right in front of our eyes. He's going to be very, very wealthy in a few months, too. All right, the Browns in day 2 of the mandatory minicamp, and the Browns were on the field once again today, and they looked sensational, as is led by their quarterback, Baker Mayfield. But we're at that point in time where it's time to make the big decision on Mayfield. He's going into year 4 of his NFL career and his rookie contract. His rookie contract is worth 5 years. The Browns have already guaranteed the 5th year to the contract, but they are at that point where they have to make the decision. Is he the franchise quarterback forever and ever and ever? And if he is, then you make a big contract offer to him and sign him to a long-term extension. That's the business part of the deal, and it's big business with big numbers. Numbers that Mayfield right now says he's not worried about. He's worried about the number in that win column.
I mean, I'm in no rush because I'm just trying to win games, and like I said, it'll handle itself. I'm sure Tom and Jack Mills are handling that. I don't try and feed too much into that because that's like wasting my time and energy and thought process on stuff that I'm not in control of right now. So I'm going to handle what I can control.
See, that's a different Baker Mayfield.
That is a mature Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, that's a different Baker Mayfield. Here's the deal, okay? First of all, he's got a wonderful set of agents. A father-son team. Keeping it, it's like the Waltons. Okay, it was like the Beatles yesterday. It's like the Waltons today. They're at the point, though. I think they have made their decision on Baker Mayfield. I think he is their franchise quarterback. I think they are working on a deal right now. I think they've put that deal, as a matter of fact, in front of Denzel Ward and in front of Nick Chubb. In other words, the immediacy is, let's get this deal done. And I think they are and have a shot to get it done right when training camp begins. I really do. I think the arrows point to that. The other thing is, in the landscape of the NFL, there are two other big-name quarterbacks in his same draft class. Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills, Lamar Jackson, who's a nemesis here in Cleveland, of the Baltimore Ravens. They are also sitting in that same position where they're going to get huge contracts too. Why not get Mayfield signed to the deal right away? That's going to end up cheaper than the other two, because if you fall second, you're going to pay more than the guy who signed first. If you fall third, you're going to pay more than you did to the other two.
So the race is on. Jimmy, annual figure here. We're talking a number probably north of $30 million, aren't we?
Oh, absolutely.
A year?
Yes, absolutely. Well, he's going to make over 18 for year 5.
Absolutely, yes.
So it's a waiting game, and it might behoove the Browns to get it done.
I miss my calling. Man, I miss my calling.
Yeah, I think so, Jay. I think that even could go a little bit higher than that.
Yeah.
They got their decision last year. He was a big reason why they went 11-5. He is not the reason they lost that day in Kansas City. He was exceptional. He was exceptional against Pittsburgh. They have their answer. He's the guy.
Well, no wonder he's not worried about signing a contract. He's flush.
There you
not
go.
Worried about paying some bills.
I think you're exactly right. I think that's why you watch him right now. He's not defensive. He's in a great spot, and he's not worried about the contract because he knows it's there.
Yeah.
Man.
He's always bet on himself, and he's always been a winner.
Yeah, that's right.
Everywhere he's gone.
Hope it keeps going, buddy.
Jimmy, thanks.
Keep it going.
30
Good to be with you.
Thanks, Jimmy.
All right.
See you, Jimmy.
Well, tonight at 7:29, going to be making some money somewhere,
you might win
right?
a scholarship or you might win $1 million.
That's it. It's the fourth drawing of the Vaccination here in Ohio. A vaccinated Ohioan is about to win $1 million. And one young person who is vaccinated is going to be getting a scholarship. You can watch the drawing right here on Channel 3. And there's one drawing left after this one. And many are wondering if this whole thing was actually a success. Let's bring in Monica Robbins, our senior health correspondent, for more on that. I got to tell you, there's a lot of people in a lot of places throwing shade at the state of Ohio when this whole thing rolled out. And then we all of a sudden started to see other places copycatting, so it can't be that bad of an idea.
Yeah, I mean, this was the most debated of all the projects, and then now all of a sudden you see California and Kentucky and West Virginia, all these other states. Yeah, hello, maybe because it was working, you know.
Blazing a trail here in Ohio.
There you go. Seriously, vaccination rates have been going down, though, since May 21st, when we last hit about 31,000. Yesterday, just over 3,700 people got their first dose, but about 5 million Ohioans are now fully vaccinated. So the week following the Vaccination announcement, the Ohio Department of Health saw a 106% increase. But keep in mind, that was the same time that the 12 to 15-year-olds were also approved. So that increase was 44% among those who were already eligible, and 62% were the 12 to 15-year-olds. So the second week, the increase was just 57% overall. Now, the state still considers Vaccination a win, but incentives are still needed. No word yet from the governor about what those incentives could be, but local businesses are taking the lead. So Rockin' on the River concert series will become Vaccin' on the River July 21st for the Lita Ford Show. It will be free for those vaccinated, and the Lorain County Public Health will hold a vaccination clinic at Black River Landing for people to get a shot and then head into the concert for free. And for the rest of the year, you can get a free glazed donut at the Middleburg Heights or Akron Krispy Kreme stores if you show your Vax card. And those who use dating apps, you can get premium access for showing your Vax status. So we're going to start seeing a lot of those types of things popping up left and right.
We had a conversation earlier today about this mythical number that we refer to as herd immunity. We've heard so much about that. We've also watched our numbers really, Monica, plummet on our daily cases. The other day they were down to below 200. Are we there? Are we at that herd immunity in your view? And if so, how did we get there?
If you're talking about just vaccination rates, absolutely not. But if you combine a couple of numbers, so our total vaccinated cases with reported confirmed cases, if we combine those, we would likely have, those people who just had COVID would have some level of natural protection. We don't know about those who don't know if they were infected, but it might explain why those cases are staying level. We're not out of the woods yet.
Right.
But if you combine those numbers, and like you and I were saying, we had about 1 million confirmed cases, but for every one, there's probably 6 more who weren't tested or confirmed.
So that gets us to 6 million potentially.
Combine that with 5 million, that's 11 million, but we don't know how many of the vaccinated people also had COVID.
Right. There's certainly some overlap there.
Yeah, there is. But if you look at it from that perspective, then yeah, we're definitely at herd immunity. And like you and I were talking earlier, you could say the same thing for the rest of the country. It could be why we're seeing numbers going down. But that's not taking into account the Delta variant that we know is here and that we know is going to be the predominant strain eventually. The vaccines do protect against that. But for those who are unvaccinated, this is way more contagious and potentially way more dangerous too. That's what I'm hearing from infectious disease specialists.
Okay.
So that's something people need to keep in mind as well. We might see some problems come fall.
I just took a peek at the stats from the Ohio Department of Health. 381 cases in the last 24 hours, 52 hospitalizations, 9 deaths reported, 9 ICU admissions, and no deaths.
See that little line there, though?
That's staying below average.
It's staying below average.
And that's where we want to be.
That's where we want to be.
All right.
Definitely.
Good news. Monica,
Thank you.
thanks.
Sure.
Well, it is a story about supply and demand. And we're not talking vaccine on this one. We're talking lumber. Lumber prices doubled during the pandemic for 2 reasons. Companies temporarily shut down, causing a shortage, and demand went through the roof as restaurants created new outdoor spaces and homeowners started home improvement projects in their sudden surplus of free time thanks to COVID. Well, now there's a sign that the cost of lumber is dropping, thankfully. The supply chain issue is resolved as more lumber companies have come back online at full capacity, and that pandemic demand due to create COVID-friendly spaces has eased. Homeowners don't have as much free time anymore, so the projects are starting to fall off a little bit. Lumber futures dropped a whopping 40% since the record high in May. That puts them back in line with pre-pandemic prices. I have seen a number of friends and different neighbors and whatnot who have projects going on, and the last 6 months, it's been tough to get lumber.
Sure.
And then, boy, it has totally jacked their budget up big time.
Well, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. The average new home, the price for that went up $30,000 in lumber costs alone here in the U.S. So it has been a huge problem. Interesting about this, and I don't know how you'd ever prove or disprove this, but we had a contractor on a couple of weeks back who said that there may be some thought that the shortage and the price hike was actually created by the industry itself.
Oh, no.
Some have speculated that they
wouldn't
have
want to make money.
held back supply, which would automatically raise prices. And it's interesting, as soon as that talk started to get traction, we saw the prices come down.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's anything to that, but it's an interesting theory.
No investigations that we know about, but of
Not
course,
yet.
if we hear them, we'll let you know.
All right, coming up next on What's New, here's the latest shortage for you. You ready? Workers at our national parks. That's right. They are in demand. We're going to tell you what the national parks plan to do about this and how it will impact all of us that plan to visit these parks.
Plus, comedian Kevin Hart is fighting back against critics who use cancel culture as a weapon. Here's what he's saying about all of this coming up in Pop Freak.
And Jason's in for Matt again today. Boy, it's just perfect out there.
You're welcome. Again, I mean, don't you notice a correlation between when I fill in and how great the weather is? Just saying, I'm not,
So you control it.
Yeah, I know. Live look over downtown Cleveland via our CSU cam. Blue skies for pretty much of Northeast Ohio, but we do have some big changes in the forecast, including some strong storms that may be impacting part of your weekend. And if you are heading out tonight, possibly to the outdoor dining, hey, do me a favor, order that Jason special. It's only $5. Looking pretty good. Temps in the 60s tonight. So I'm timing out what you can expect tomorrow and this weekend right after this.
Welcome back to What's New. We are just a few days away from the official start of summer, and a lot of people, Bets, as you know, are packing up the car and they're planning big summer vacation trips, and a lot of people plan to go to national parks.
Right.
You might be experiencing a big jump in tourists when you get there.
Well, the Canyonlands National Park in Utah, look at this. Cars are lined up longer than some of the trails to get inside. And at the famed Arches National Park, some are being turned away after driving hours because those parking lots are full.
So far this year, the Great Smoky Mountains in Tennessee set monthly visitation records January through May, and they're going to be leaning on visitors to help them maintain the park.
It's going to be a challenging year for all of our staff. With this level of visitation, we simply can't do it on our own. Each person coming to the Smokies has to take some responsibility for their trash and their behavior so that we can take care of this place that they're coming to enjoy.
Well, overall, the national parks have seen a 73% increase in campground reservations this year compared to 2019. So rangers say you better plan ahead. You know, we are so lucky to have the gem that is the Cuyahoga Valley National Park. Not only because of everything that it provides for people, but we're not charged a fee here.
Nope.
A lot of these big, Grand Canyon, Arches, these big, national parks, you got to pay $30 to $50 per car to get in.
Right.
And we don't have that. We can go down and just enjoy our national park. And
too.
it's phenomenal, but there have been a lot of people in the national park.
Yeah, so I guess the moral of the story is if you're planning a visit to one of these national parks, you might want to have a backup plan. This story's really hitting home for you.
Get a hotel with a pool. That's what the vacation has changed to now. Yeah.
So that was your plan for the summer.
Yeah, we were going to hit a national park, but I think now we're going to hit the hotel pool. It's going to be awesome.
You know what? You'll have a good time.
That's pretty much all the kids want to do anyway. They're like, yeah, we could hike anywhere. We don't need to see beautiful vistas. Let's go to the pool. I think that's the way it goes. But we'll figure it out, right? That's what we do. We always figure it out. Just like we figure out that old weather forecast, don't we, Jason?
Yeah, we certainly do. And you know what, Betsy? I mean, I don't have to tell you. I mean, today was an absolutely picture-perfect day to head to the park, our local parks, right?
Got it.
Yeah, and you know what? One of the things, though, that's going to be happening, though, is we're going to start to see a little bit of a transition here. Things are going to get a little bit humid tomorrow, and then we got some strong storms that are possible here on Friday. This is all thanks to a cold front that is slowly inching its way to northeast Ohio. So the winds are going to be picking up with this system, and it could feature some thunderstorms as well as even a little bit of hail. But again, this is on Friday. In the meantime, you'll notice there winds coming out of the north here here, ranging anywhere from about 5 to about 12 miles per hour. Overall, it's a gorgeous night across the region. 68 over the Cuyahoga County Airport, 71 in Elyria, 74 down in Mansfield. Doppler radar, I mean, it's a boring day here in the Weather Center. I mean, I thought about, getting a martini out, but I recognize that that's a violation of the old handbook there. But you know what? If you do have any outdoor plans tonight, I would highly recommend that you bring along the sunglasses because you're definitely going to need them. But as we look farther to the west, one of the things you're going to notice here is that, see these storms that are starting to develop across the Dakotas? That is where that cold front is now, and it's going to slowly start to shift eastward. So it's not going to get here tomorrow. It's likely going to get here sometime on Friday. In the meantime, it's going to be gorgeous weather. National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast. So you'll notice that temperatures tonight will be dipping into the 50s. There might even be a few upper 40s in inland places like Worcester, New Philadelphia, even Mansfield. Tomorrow morning, it is going to be absolutely gorgeous in terms of seeing the sunrise tomorrow. It should happen sometime right around 6 a.m. And by the afternoon time, it's going to be another lovely one. We're going to warm into the mid to upper 70s. I think many spots will get very close to, if not exceed 80 degrees. We'll see a few mix of sun and clouds. Should be a beautiful sunset. And then here come those rain showers on Friday. I think the best chance at seeing some of these storms will likely happen after about the lunchtime hour. And again, we're going to keep our eye on that. In terms of the severity with these systems, on a 1 out of 5 scale, with 5 being the worst, we're at a 2. So Betsy will have much more on this coming up for you at 6, and we will keep an eye for you on it for tomorrow. Union Home Mortgage, 7-day outlook, topping out tomorrow right around 81. 84 will be our highest temperature for the weekend. And you'll notice here, Father's Day, which is also the official start for summer, will reach a high of 84 degrees. We'll have more news and weather right after this.
Kevin Hart is clapping back at critics. Olympian Simone Biles is looking as stunning as ever on the cover of a magazine, and Jamie Foxx wrote a book about fatherhood. Kiara Cotton has all the details in today's Pop Break.
Kevin Hart has had enough. The veteran comedian took to social media yesterday to give critics a piece of his mind. In a series of tweets, just days after he denounced cancel culture, he took aim at those who say he's not funny. The 41-year-old listed several of his accomplishments, including being the highest-grossing comedian in entertainment for several years, having 3 stand-up comedy specials that fall in the top 10 highest-grossing of all time, and having turned his comedic talent into other lucrative business ventures. And that's not all. According to Hart, the hate and slander just pushes him to do more. Simone Biles is stunning as she graces the June cover of Glamour magazine. Dressed in several variations of red, white, and blue, the 24-year-old Olympian radiates as she poses with a floor-length braided ponytail. Throughout her career, Biles has racked up 25 world championship medals and has 4 seemingly impossible gymnastic moves named after her. But in her interview with the magazine, she says her life now is all about balance. For Biles, that includes self-care, like therapy, eating Mexican food, and spending time with her boyfriend, Houston Texans Jonathan Owens. According to the magazine, Biles feels better than ever and is ready to take on the Tokyo Olympics. Jamie Foxx has mastered a lot of things in his career, from comedy to music and acting. But when it comes to parenting, he says he's still learning. In his new book, Act Like You Got Some Sense and Other Things My Daughters Taught Me, the father of 2 paints an honest picture of the ups and downs that come with fatherhood. The book explores his upbringing and how the lessons he was taught by his grandmother greatly impact how he parents daughters Corinne and Annalise. The book is set to hit shelves October 19th. With Father's Day coming up this weekend, make sure you head over to our What's New Facebook group and share with us your favorite picture of you and your dad. Back to you guys.
All right, Kira, thank you very much. Now it's time for our Worth the Watch. We found this video on Instagram. A young boy, Betsy, gets up the nerve to profess his love to his young girlfriend, only to have his heart broken. Watch.
No. Hey, you listen. I don't want to. What?
Watch this.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. If that doesn't make your day, then your day can't be made. The young guy, you know, it took up so much of his courage to make that heart and to drop down on a knee.
He was on a knee.
Yeah, and Betsy is certain in her decision because she didn't even hesitate. I mean, he no sooner gets the words out of his mouth, "Will you marry me?" No.
It was out of the gate. No, not even like, well, you know, there's some complications, like that we're really, really young.
My favorite part is how badly she feels.
Yeah, right.
When she's like, Woods.
At first.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he'll get over it.
I don't want to marry you. Oh, well. Who knows? We'll follow the couple, and if they ever get together, we'll let you know.
Can you imagine? That'd be a great story. All right, ahead for us here in the second half hour of What's New. Sports betting is coming to Ohio. Well, at least we're one step closer to that. We're going to tell you how that is expected to impact the gambling scene here in Cleveland.
Speaking of betting, Betsy, Baker Mayfield says he will continue to bet on himself, and why not? He always has, and it's always been a smart play. We're going to tell you why Mayfield says he is not spending time worrying about a contract extension.
And if you're looking for that unique gift for your dad for Sunday, Austin Love will give us a few suggestions. We'll be right back.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Here are 3 things you need to know now at 5:30. The Ohio House voted to expel former GOP Speaker Larry Householder. This follows his indictment of a $60 million federal bribery scheme. The bipartisan vote is only the second time in state history that the legislature cast ballots to expel a sitting member. Householder maintains he is innocent.
Betsy, late this afternoon, the Ohio Senate passed a bill to legalize sports gambling. This revision allows casinos, racinos, and other businesses to apply for one of up to 58 sports gaming licenses. Each one of these licenses will cost $1 million. 33 will be reserved for brick and mortar stores, 25 for online and mobile betting. The bill now heads to the House.
And the 4th Vaccination drawing is tonight. One lucky vaccinated Ohioan will win $1 million, and another vaccinated student will win a full ride to a state college. You can watch the drawing right here on 3 News. The winner will be announced at 7:29. So far, 42% of Ohioans have been vaccinated. And with that, we say welcome back to What's New. I'm Betsy Kling alongside Jay Crawford.
We have been counting down our days to summer, and we're really close now. We'll take the graphic, and it will show you that we're only 4 days away now, Bets. And I think today, and really yesterday too, to me, aren't these more typical of what your pre-summer days should be? Sunny, 70s, but a little bit of chill in the air.
It's a little cooler than average. This would kind of be like early June, late May, what we would typically think of. So it's just a short little stint. Don't worry, the heat's coming back.
And the humidity's coming. And then you know what everyone will say? Well, I sure do miss those 70 and low humidity days.
See, that's what they were saying like last weekend. So, yeah. We're trying to keep it in the middle of the fairway.
You can please some of the people all of the time, and all of the people some of the time, but you can't please all of the people all of the time.
And this is where I say I'm in marketing, not production.
That's my favorite line. All right, our top talker here at 5:30. Baker Mayfield is not worried about a potential contract extension going past the 2022 season. He told reporters today at Browns minicamp he's only worried about one thing, and that's winning games. And I'm actually glad he said that. Baker entering the 4th year of a 5-year contract that he signed after the Browns drafted him first overall in the 2018 draft. After Baker led the Browns to the playoffs last season, the team decided that they would pick up the optional 5th year of his contract. That's actually not this coming season, but the next season, and he'll be paid more than $18 million for his play. As for an extension that would run beyond 2022, it is not in the front of Baker's mind.
I think everything happens for a reason. I think the chips will fall where they're supposed to. Like I said, I'm concerned about winning, and that's what everybody in this building needs to be concerned about. It's not saying that anybody is not, but the concern right now is winning and building a strong foundation for this season.
Now, Jimmy mentioned this at 5, and it's so true. This is such a different, not just a different player, but a different person. He always has that chip on the shoulder, and I'm going to prove everybody wrong. But this seems like maybe kinder, gentler, more mature Baker Mayfield. And that could be good for his progression as a player.
Yeah, and instead of that whole chip on the shoulder, I'm going to prove him wrong, it's more like just a confidence that he's sitting with. I still have the chip on my shoulder, but just hold on.
Almost like I know something that you don't know, and that's that I can win, and I can win at all levels.
Yep.
And boy, watching him last year in the playoffs, Jimmy was right. He was not the reason we did not beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City in the playoff game last year. He will be the reason that this team makes it as far as it is that we're going to go. We need that position to be strong, and it is, and it's the first time it's been strong in more than 3 decades.
Well, and he credits his team with so much. And, when you're a leader, that is such an important part of it. It's not just you.
That's right.
It's the team that's making things happen for you, and you're setting the team up. And I think that gets lost in a lot of the pro levels.
It does. And quickly, I believe Jimmy is so wired in with this team. He says that he believes this thing's going to get done perhaps at the start of training camp. So fans shouldn't worry about that. I think Baker's going to be here for a long time.
Coming quick, right? Well, from the pros to high school football, today the Pro Football Hall of Fame announced a 3-year agreement to host high school football state championship games. That's right, you don't have to get on 71 anymore. The OHSAA state title football games were previously played at the stadium, but moved to Columbus last year due to attendance limits with COVID-19. The OHSAA USAA Executive Director Doug Ute said today that they are excited to bring teams to a place where they are wanted. I love the idea of that game being played in Canton.
Sure.
I think that just the optics, if nothing else, you are playing on what many football people believe is hallowed ground.
It is hallowed
right
ground.
Next to a seat.
That's right. I mean, come on. You can see the Hall of Fame from there.
I know,
You know, it's so
really
cool.
neat. And it's
so
such
cool.
a point of pride for Canton. It's a really big deal for the city.
And it means
Canton.
a lot of money to the area,
It's
too,
a
because
huge amount of money.
It's not just one game, it's all divisions play their championship game there. And you got folks coming in, staying in hotel rooms, and folks coming in and eating at restaurants.
And it saves us gas money. We don't have to drive to Cincinnati. Come on, that's the most boring drive on the planet, admit it.
It is good for us, for sure. All right, coming up next on What's New, if you want to get Dad a truly unique gift for Father's Day and you want to ditch the tie this year, that's a good idea, by the way. Stay with us because Austin Love has some pretty cool ideas coming up.
And with COVID restrictions lifted, we are all anxiously awaiting fireworks displays this 4th of July. Stephanie will tell us where we can see them ahead in Clicking in Cleveland. Also, keeping an eye on that forecast, Jason. Nice and calm.
Oh, it certainly is. It is a boring day as we take a live look right now over downtown Cleveland via our CSU cam. Absolutely nothing going on. However, there are going to be some big changes that are going to be coming in here, and that is going to make sure that this radar is pretty active. I'm detailing out the possibility of some strong storms right after this.
Yes, I am. We are going to be able to see fireworks in Akron at 9:45 p.m.
All right, it is another gorgeous afternoon out there. And, you know, it's kind of fun. On the left side of the screen, we always show what the forecast is expected to be. It's just kind of a handy tool. You can pop in, pop out, or whatever. We love it when you stay with us, though. But, you know, every time I look at that and I see clear, 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 it just kind of makes me smile. I got to be honest.
You know, it makes you smile, but as a meteorologist, I'm like, come on, give me something.
I'm good with calm weather.
I know.
I really am.
You do?
I know you love storms and severe weather, and the worse it is, the better it is for you, but not
as long as nobody gets hurt. I mean, that's always the big thing.
I'm down with calm.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is going to be the opposite of what we could potentially see here, Betsy, on Friday. We are tracking a system, a cold front that could give us some strong storms on Friday. The winds will be picking up. It could kick off some thunderstorms, and we could see some hail. So we usually will like to rank the severity of these storms from a 1 to a 5. 5, of course, being the worst. I think this is going to be at a 2. So it's not going to be the worst possible storm ever, but it will certainly be one of those summer-like storms that you're like, ooh, heard that thunder outside. And as far as the winds go right now, they're pretty much out of the north. They're ranging anywhere from about 5 to about 12 miles. And look at these temperatures. I mean, feeling a lot more like fall rather than spring, right? 68 at the Cuyahoga County Airport, 69 over in Ashtabula. It's a bit warmer, though, as you get inland, especially to places like Dover as well as Mansfield, where they are in the mid-70s. Live look over downtown, or I should say live look on the Doppler radar, and you'll notice here there's nothing going on here, but a much wider view on the satellite and radar. We do have clear skies across Illinois as well as Indiana, so we're going to see another picture-perfect day tomorrow. However, it is this storm that is developing right now over the Dakotas. That is where a cold front is developing, and that is going to slide into our area, and that is going to prompt off some of those storms. So let's go hour by hour, sponsored by National Design Mart. We'll see temperatures decline tonight into the 50s. I do think inland communities, you will likely reach the upper 40s. Would not be surprised in places like Dover as well as Worcester, where you guys could potentially get into the upper 40s. We're talking about 47, 48, possibility of definitely needing either the sweater or possibly that heat. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, you're going to see a gorgeous sunrise right around 6 o'clock. And by the mid part of the morning, we'll be in the mid-60s. The latter half of the day, it's going to feel a lot more humid as well as warm outside. We're talking about upper 70s by the early part of the afternoon, latter half of the afternoon. We'll see temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s, and we'll see a mix of sun and clouds. And then tomorrow night, as that cold front starts to slowly approach us, we will start to see a lot more cloud cover, and there go those storms. So Betsy and I will certainly be keeping a watchful eye on it, and she will have much more on that coming up at 6. Union Home Mortgage, 7-day outlook. So we will top out tomorrow right around 81 degrees, 84, and some storms possible for Friday. And then you'll notice here this weekend, we cool down just a little bit, 81 for Saturday. Sunday's going to be my favorite day. Why? Because it is the start of summer. It is also Father's Day, so please make sure that you get your dads something other than a tie, okay? Maybe some cologne, maybe a nice pack of beer, and then we will cool down by Tuesday to the mid-70s. So hopefully, Betsy, you will get your husband something very nice and not a tie for Father's Day.
Well, it's on the girls. They're on their own. I have nothing to do with it.
You have nothing to do with it? You don't slip them maybe a $20 bill and you're like, okay, go buy.
This is where the whole discussion about the coupon book thing comes back into play. Because I give you one snuggle and I'll do dishes and we'll have breakfast for dinner one day. That was always a big deal for me.
Breakfast for dinner.
Breakfast for dinner is the bomb.
Oh, listen.
You know, as long as you express the love, that's all that matters.
That's what it's all about. All right, Jason, thanks so much. We'll see you again later on.
Well, in case you forgot, yes, this Sunday is indeed Father's Day, and sometimes it can be hard to buy for the number one guy in your life. So 3 News, Austin Love found some unique gift ideas that you might want to consider giving Dad this year.
Hey guys, what's today? I don't know, like June? That's a month. Guys, this Sunday's Father's Day. Oh, shoot. Yeah, what are we going to get Dad? What about a necktie? No, that's too boring. Flowers. Not too Mother's Day. Oh, I've got it. Bourbon. Too alcoholic. Come on, guys, we got to get him something good. Well, Dave's a dad, and he's like 60 years old. What do you think he'd want?
Dads, strap up those New Balances, tuck in those jorts, and freshen up those dad dance moves.
I don't have the camcorder with me, but
no matter how cringy they are, this Sunday is your day. But how do you fully celebrate the main man in your life? Well, for starters, nothing says dad more than these Dockers sandals. On sale at Shoe Carnival for $24.98. But let's up the game a little bit this year. If dad is a master griller, check out a meal delivery kit service. Home Chef has a deal that will save you $90 on your first 4 deliveries. In a survey by TopCash.com, 82% of dads said spending time with family is their favorite part of Father's Day. So now that the world is reopened, what about an experience you and your dad can share together? Tickets to an Indians game is always a safe call, and hey, there's plenty of tickets available all season long. Or if he's more into music, he could relive the glory days at a concert at Blossom. Rod Stewart and Cheap Trick come July 19th. Hall & Oates on August 17th. Or if your dad is more into boy bands, Backstreet Boys come to Blossom July 6th, 2022.
Austin Love, 3 News.
All right, so first of all, if Austin thinks Dave is 60, then he must think I'm like 100. Number one.
You mentioned that bromance, and that's what it is in the mornings with our Go team.
I know,
bromance
but 60. All right, so yesterday I made the miserable attempt at telling a dad joke.
Oh, you knocked it out of the park. It was very dad jokey.
Yeah, it fell flat. So if that's what you mean by knocking it out of the park.
No, not at all.
Our friends on our What's New Facebook page heard mine, and they gave me a few suggestions. So Betsy, are you ready for some of these?
Oh yeah.
I don't know why I have to read these
because it's a dad joke, and you're a dad.
I am a dad, but I try not to tell these jokes. This one's from Mike. What's a duck's favorite snack?
I don't know.
A quacker, of course.
If I were 6, I'd be rolling on the floor right now.
I almost need like, because these are so bad.
I'm rolling my eyes.
John Bryant wrote one. Here it is. What did the football coach say to the vending machine?
Oh, geez. I have.
This is particularly pertinent in Cleveland.
Okay.
Give me my quarterback.
Oh, I love that.
See?
Okay, that one's clever.
To the vending, yeah.
That's cute.
Okay. And I'm not going to tell anymore because, quite frankly, I feel very awkward telling them.
Well, but if you have one that you'd like to share, you can get in our little 3 News group on Facebook. You can find us 3 News. 3 What's New.
Yes.
3 What's New. It's our group. You can ask to join. We'd love to have you. If you've got a dad joke, Jay could really use your help.
I'm not telling any more bad dad jokes. I'm out of that business. I'm retired.
I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to do it. Even though you swear it off. I just have a feeling. I just know you can.
I can't swear them off.
You know,
okay.
They're part of you now. Ahead on What's New. If you live in Lake County and you love kittens, we have a way that you can help take care of animals coming up. Look at those little babies.
And if you didn't get your annual Girl Scout cookies, and a lot of you didn't because of the coronavirus restrictions, we're going to tell you how you can go about placing an order. By the way, I love Thin Mints.
Ooh, yeah.
Love them. We'll be right back.
Samoas and Do-si-do.
What is it? Yes. Yes, I'm with you. That's the big ask is not falling down. I was a brownie too.
Jay Crawford just discovered what Facebook Live is, and now we're streaming Facebook Live on our 3 What's New page.
Yep, I'm
and
broadcasting.
The best part is he doesn't know how to turn it off. So we're not quite sure what's going to happen after the show.
I'll figure it out when we get to that.
You can go on a very interesting tour after the show.
There's Betsy, and there's the camera, and
oh, what's the matter with
and
them?
there, say hi.
We're
There's
going to tell
Stephanie.
people about the Girl Scouts. All right, check this out. The Girl Scouts have an unusual problem. They have 15 million boxes of unsold cookies because of COVID-19. The 2 bakers who supply the troops have 12 million of them, and they are working with the Girl Scouts to sell or donate cookies to places like food banks and the military. The bakers can't sell directly to grocers because that might diminish the importance of the annual cookie sales.
Yeah, that kind of would. Now, I can handle 10 million of those. So we're down to 5 million left.
We got the Thin Mints covered. Just
and the Samoas.
Mark 'em
and
off.
Stephanie loves the peanut butter ones, the tagalongs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think everybody kind of has their own favorites, certainly. And, you know, it's kind of funny as we're still broadcasting live.
We are. My son was watching. He said, hi, Dad.
No way.
Yes, he did. Hi, Cor. How
He's
you
probably
doing?
like, oh, Dad's live. This is going to be good.
Yeah, he's like, oh,
he
this
has
is
no
pocket-
idea what he's
pocket dial.
doing. He has no idea what he's doing. That's it.
Yes.
You just invented.
But I did this on purpose, believe it or not. All right, it's time to see what's clicking in Cleveland. For that, we bring in our tech expert who actually told me what to do.
Yes, just
because I didn't know.
She said, just hit it and we'll
Just
see
hit
what
it,
happens.
and I hit it. Hi, Stephanie.
That's it. Hi, guys. All right, here's what's clicking in Cleveland. You know what? Yeah, I can definitely handle those tag-alongs too, by the way. I'll take the other 5 million.
You got
so we
it.
got that covered. First up, my very favorite holiday in the world is the 4th of July, also known as Jay's birthday. Want to let you know where you can see those fireworks this year. In Akron, they're doing it at 4 spots, totally synchronized. Very cool. Lined up with music on 97.5. That's at 9:45 p.m. on July 4th. And in Canton, they are bringing them back at the McKinley Monument. That's on July 4th at 9:50 p.m. Okay, on to the rest of our clicking stories. Now, a few of our Northeast Ohio cities rank among the best beachfront lake towns in the country. This is according to the 2021 rankings of the best beach towns along the lakefront to live in, just polished today by Wallet Hub. We have 3 places in the top 25. At number 13, Rocky River. Bay Village comes in at number 20, and Vermilion, Ohio comes in at number 24. The top city on the list, by the way, Traverse City, Michigan. Now, the Lake County Humane Society wants your help with stuffing an entire bus with donations to take care of kittens. They need all kinds of things, from dry cat food and milk substitutes to digital kitchen scales and those little gel microwavable heating pads. And while you're there, you can also adopt a kitten. That costs $120. This is at the Humane Society in Menor from 1 to 3 p.m. on Saturday, or Catterday, if you will. And I learned something new this week on our weekly YouTube show, It's All Good News. Apparently, cow hugs are a thing. The Gentle Barn is a sanctuary in California that's been rescuing and rehabbing animals for more than 20 years. They also offer cow hugs. And more people asked for them to drop in for cow hugging sessions throughout the pandemic. People came from all over to do this, and that is just one of our good news stories, meant to give you a little midweek pick me up. That drops every Wednesday at 1 p.m. on the WKYC YouTube page. But yeah, Jay and Betsy, apparently you hug a cow and it kind of hugs you back, and people find it utterly moving, they say.
Okay, that's a dad joke.
That was a good one.
That's a dad joke for sure.
Little demonstration for you there. Happy to provide a dad joke.
We have to go. I took up so much time with the Facebook Live. We'll be right back.
Our producer's mad.
Hi, Al. How are you? Testing 1 2, testing 1 2 3 4. Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, mic check. 1 2 3. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check.
Did you have gnarly toes?
Yeah, hey, Al, am I at the ring or at the weather chair? Okay.
Hey, Rob. Yeah. Right here?
Yeah. You got Al? I can hear you.
Oh, I don't have my mic on, I don't think.
Yeah, this is an incredible story, Bets. Our Show Us Something Good's from Akron. This is Kathy and her grand pup, Bentley. See, he got away while she and her husband were watching him while his owners were actually on vacation. Maureen Foley saw the missing dog poster and reached out. Turns out she and her husband, Steve, they're retired. They've dedicated their time to helping families find their lost pets. They have traps and cameras to set up where the dog was last seen.
Oh, and after 6 days of searching and waiting, they found Bentley. Kathy went to the trap, carried it home before letting him out. Bentley is now home in Lakewood with his parents and human siblings. Lucky dog. The Foleys do this free of charge, but Kathy's family couldn't let their kindness go unnoticed, so they all made a donation, and the kids sent them thank you cards.
Okay, now how cool is that?
Oh, did you see the wiggle butt on that dog? That dog was going crazy.
That means they're happy. Maureen shared this story with us on the 3 What's New Facebook page. If you have something good to show us, join the 3 What's New Facebook page and tell us all about it. Be sure to include pictures that we can use on the air. And by the way, this is a little added bonus. When you join that Facebook page, you might get to see behind the scenes broadcasts on Facebook Live, like the one I brought to you just a short while ago.
I'll tell you what's new. Jay knows how to do the Facebook Live. That's what's new.
That could be dangerous.
It's terrifying.
That's very dangerous. Okay, we're out of time, but you know the drill. We're back tomorrow at 5, and you have an invitation to join us then.
What Matters Most with Russ and Laura starts right now.
Now at 6, in no rush, Baker Mayfield says he is fine, waiting to sign another contract. Jimmy is here live with the interview from Brown's minicamp. Place your bets.
This is a significant issue. We're talking about setting up a new industry in Ohio.
The Ohio Senate passes legislation putting us one step closer to legalized sports gambling. What happens now? Face to face. President Biden meets with Russia's Vladimir Putin in a major international summit. The key takeaways from their conversation. And the winner is the 4th set of Vaccination winners is announced tonight as local governments get in on the incentive action.
From the WKYC studios, this is What Matters Most.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Mitchell.
And I'm Laura Cascio. Another big day in bereavement.